Welcome to LearnMuayThaiFast. Today I'm going to be teaching you about the jab. Alright, so the jab. The jab is probably the first punch you learn, and arguably the most basic punch you learn, but probably the most important punch you learn also. And let me explain why. It's an incredibly fast punch, right? So it makes for a really great defensive tool and offensive tool. It has a lot of utility. On the defensive side of things, it's really easy to just pop someone in the face when they're coming in at you and reset the situation, or at the very least keep them away. On the offensive side of things, it's a linear attack, which means it travels the shortest and fastest distance from point to point. So my guard opponent's face. It doesn't do a looping path like a hook or an uppercut. It's just straight down the middle, straight back. Okay. If you tie this in with really fast footwork and body movement, you'll have yourself a really good can opener.
Hey, what are you doing?
Can't get this can open, dude.
Why don't you use your jabs? Here, let me hold it for you.
But not actually. What I mean by that is you want to use the jab to pick at your opponent, or set up some safe points and combos, or at the very least elicit a reaction from your opponent and then capitalizing on that reaction. The final thought I do want to leave with you guys today is to think about the jab like the meat and potatoes of your fight meal, so to speak. And it's the main attraction, so don't hesitate to throw out a lot of jabs when you fight, when you spar, when you train. In fact, a really good boxer can completely shut you down with just their jab and movement alone, which should speak volumes about how effective a technique the jab really is. The first thing you want to do is to push off your lead foot just a little bit so that your hip and shoulder will align with your opponent. Think about tank treads. When you speed up one side or push off one foot, your body will move in that direction. You never really want to punch square from your guard because you'll be just a little bit misaligned from your shoulder. Basically, you want this to become this. From here, you're going to throw your lead hand straight out, and near the end of your extension, you're going to rotate your hand inwards. By the time your arm is fully extended, your hand should be rotated over completely so that your palm is facing downwards. The retraction of the jab is exactly the same. Start by retracting your arm and turning your hand outwards, this time at the start of your retraction, and bring your arm all the way back to guard. The most common mistake people make when throwing the jab is dropping their effing hands. Don't drop your hands. Usually people have a really good extension, so they start the jab and they extend, everything's perfectly straight, but forget to do the same thing on the way back. So their arm will kind of fall a little bit, or it'll start out straight and kind of come back in a funny way. Something that's slightly less common is actually dropping your rear hand. So you throw a jab, and because your brain's focused on this active hand, this arm actually drops a little bit as you're throwing the jab, kind of like that. Regardless of the situation, make sure you keep your hands up. Another common mistake is trying to throw the jab with powerful knockout power. Sure, you could make it work, but the mechanics of the jab don't lend itself well to being a knockout punch. It's like cutting cheese with a plastic knife.
Oh, I hate cutting this cheese.
Oh, that's because you're using the wrong tool for the job, mate. Here, try this. If you want to be really unstoppable, you have to tie in fast movement with your jabs. Okay? Generally speaking, you want to take quick small steps and punch right when your foot hits the floor. This way, I can drive off my strong base, deliver a really solid punch without compromising my stance. Make sure when you do your step drag motions, it's not a hop. You want to glide across the floor like a figure skater. Okay? This way I can stay really fast and mobile. So don't do this kind of a step drag where it takes a long time to plant, a long time to drive off my base, and then a long time to throw my punch. Glide across the floor, figure skater style.
Don't make me smile, goddamn.
Okay, go ahead. One, two, three. No.
No. No. Not even that one.